The Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi mocked the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, for meeting with former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh at his residence 7 RCR yesterday. But Rahul Gandhi's remark that Manmohan Singh gave a masterclass in economics to Prime Minister Modi betrayed more than he may have attempted to. First, a little anxiety. What if the former Prime Minister spilled some secrets against the Congress in order to work out a concession for himself in the face of a sustained barrage of accusations that are linking him to scams under his watch? That's what the BJP feels happened. Second, Rahul's attack may have something to do with quickly neutralizing Prime Minister's masterstroke intended to convey that he regards Dr. Manmohan Singh much more than the Congress party itself. Whether the Manmohan Modi meet was a courtesy meet or a call to confess, it has piqued interest and sparked debate. So before we get to it, here is a report that sets it all up.
He too doesn't know, does he? When Rahul Gandhi the Modi government today, there was no fresh twist in his take on the left liberal playbook, pitching the NDA as pro-corporate and anti-farmer. But it was a speculative jibe on Wednesday's Manmohan Modi meet that set the cat truly among the pigeons.
It's very immature-ish for them to really make comments of this nature on the BJP, which is an entirely democratic organization. And for him to comment on the RSS shows, I think it only shows his lack of understanding.
राहुल गांधी जी को बताना चाहिए कि उनके अंदर कितना अनुशासन है.
He presents himself as a student of politics. He must be taking lessons, so he feels everyone is taking lessons from each other.
If Mr. Singh had kept the Congress in the loop about the meet, the Congress spokespersons on Wednesday couldn't convince you about it. A day later, they were still searching for answers.
You have a senior-most economist of the world giving advice to the current Prime Minister. What is wrong? So I think the reaction was just overreactive.
Which is why we are asking some big questions today. Was the meeting between Modi and Manmohan a courtesy call or a confession? Has the Prime Minister scored a big PR win by meeting with Manmohan Singh? Has Modi shown that he values Manmohan more than the Congress by consulting him? And finally, is Rahul sniping because he's anxious that Manmohan might reveal secrets? With Vijay Lakshmi in New Delhi, Bureau Report, NewsX.
What does this say about Rahul Gandhi? Does this say a lot more about him than about the Prime Minister, Mr. Modi? That's the fundamental question we'll begin this debate with. Joining us is Pawan Khera, political analyst, Shazia Ilmi, spokesperson for the Bharatiya Janata Party, Bhartendra Singh, MP of the Lok Sabha, Professor Madhav Nalapat, editorial director of the Sunday Guardian, and also Tom Vadakkar, national spokesperson of the Congress. Let me ask you first, Mr. Vadakkar, what does this say about Rahul Gandhi? Doesn't it say a lot more about Rahul Gandhi than it says about Mr. Modi? After all, what's wrong? Why should it be such a crime to seek the counsel of someone which in the long run will only help the national interest, Mr. Vadakkar? It's a good thing that a Prime Minister is consulting his predecessor. Mr. Vadakkar?
Yes.
Tell me, sir.
Yeah.
Did you get my question?
No, I didn't.
Okay, what's wrong, sir? What's wrong? If it was just a consultation, should Rahul Gandhi be making such a big deal of something that furthers a national cause? What's wrong if a former Prime Minister is meeting the current incumbent and advising him on certain issues? It's good. Continuity is good in government.
Did Rahul Gandhi say that it was wrong? All that he said, certain issues on economic matters and international affairs were discussed. And that is a healthy practice. And to see...
So you're conceding that Prime Minister Modi is not a Mr. Know-it-all. You always accuse him of being a Mr. Know-it-all, who knows everything, who likes to dictate his opinion, who likes only to be right, never to be questioned. He doesn't like seeking consultation with people. Here he's going outside the purview of his government, sir, seeking advice.
Yes, now he started understanding when the ex-Prime Minister informed him that the last report was 8.5, and now you're going down the tube. If that message had gone home, He definitely, I saw that happening. It would have happened earlier, or now that it has happened, good. That the country is into a consultative process. It is positive. And I don't think...
But it flies in the face of the accusations you make, Shazia Ilmi. How do you respond to this? There's a certain duplicity.
No, what I feel is that when I look at Prime Minister Modi ji, I find it very remarkable that he always does things that surprise you. He always shows a generosity and evolution, so to speak. Whether it was inviting Nawaz Sharif for his swearing in, whether it was invoking Mahatma Gandhi's name, or whether it's even talking and inviting the former Prime Minister. And I see a certain degree of maturity and statesmanship here. And I wonder why Rahul Gandhi is so anxious to jump the gun and give it a certain color and make noises. Is he upset about the fact that Prime Minister Manmohan Singh did not consult with him before he went there? So there is something definitely amiss here. Is he scared that Manmohan Singh ji might say something to Modi ji that might upset the apple cart, so to speak? After all, they're sensitive times and important revelations are being made and serious investigation is underway.
Okay, Mr. Pawan Khera.
I'm amused.
You know, it's a big PR victory for Mr. Modi. Even if he didn't
We'll
intend to consult.
It's
the core of the subject. Is Rahul Gandhi anxious because he lost out on this one? You've been attacking the Prime Minister for being suited, booted. You've been attacking the Prime Minister for being dictatorial. Here he's being consultative.
The story
he's
here,
being magnanimous.
The story here is not about
graceful.
Rahul Gandhi. The
here
story
he's
here,
being statesmanlike.
Rahul, let me also say something. The story here is about the Prime Minister. And as Shazia ji said, he loves to surprise people. Here he has shocked everyone. He doesn't consult his own Margdarshak Mandal. Why does he feel the need to consult the former Prime Minister? We all know what the Margdarshak Mandal is all about. Poor Mr. Advani was not even invited at the Mathura rally, so let's not talk about the Margdarshak Mandal. The fact that he feels the need to consult the former Prime Minister shows that he understands what a disaster this 1 year has been. You remove 22 commodities from the inflation formula and you have a new formula. Inflation goes down, obviously it will go down. You come up with a new GDP formula. You know, with the same GDP formula which we have this year now, if we calculate from 2010 to 2014, it would have been 13 to 14%.
But you're making it sound, Bhartendra Singh.
No,
the Congress is making it sound like consultation is a bad word.
No, not at all.
That consultation is a bad word. Don't put words in our mouth. And seeking advice is a bad word. Isn't that churlish?
You're putting words in our mouth.
Isn't that churlish?
No.
Because the message that will go to anyone.
Why couldn't the Prime Minister tweet that he sought Mr. Manmohan Singh's advice?
He said,
no, it was a very snide remark.
He said,
I welcome him back in 7 race course.
Yes,
it was a snide remark. Why? A man who tweets on every second episode in the world can't be honest on Twitter and say that, well, I sought his advice, I needed his counsel. Fair enough. Show some grace. Please show some grace.
I think, you know, the problem with the Congress is that they always have to fight for a stupid comment made by Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Now, this is such a welcome step. A Prime Minister meeting the ex-Prime Minister is such a waft of fresh air, you know, because politics is not about partisanship, it's not about ideological warfare, it is not about personal fights and bitterness, it is about consulting each other and taking people along.
Well, here is a man who doesn't consult his own cabinet. Here is a man who doesn't consult his own cabinet. He doesn't consult anyone. No, we are not being partisan. Sorry, we are not being partisan.
The data and all the reviews are showing that the Prime Minister
what Rahul Gandhi said today is something which the Prime Minister should have said yesterday. That I called Dr. Manmohan Singh to seek advice. I am glad Rahul Gandhi pointed it out. Let the nation know. Where is the problem here? Please have the grace to admit.
When the ex-Prime Minister meets the Prime Minister, obviously it will be news and everybody will know. It's a very welcome step.
One second.
I would just like to...
Why did one second. Professor Nalapat, it would appear that what Mr. Modi has signaled is that he values Manmohan Singh more than perhaps the Congress by consulting him. Dr. Manmohan Singh was not even out there campaigning in the last election for the Congress party,
Of
sir.
course he
One
campaigned.
rally. One
He
rally.
campaigned. He campaigned.
One rally. Correct me, Pawan Khera.
He
One
campaigned.
rally. One
He
rally.
certainly campaigned.
One rally, right?
You
One
know,
rally.
yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong on facts.
Rahul,
Yeah.
I simply want to make the point that, as I recall, the entire election campaign in 2014 was on the basis that Manmohan Singh was a disaster.
Disaster.
That the entire
Everything was
government
pegged on
made
him.
mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. So from that point of view, I mean, I think if one were consulting him, it would be logical to believe that you were consulting him to find out what he did so that Mr. Modi could do something different. Now, the point of the matter is that
But sir, politically, I'm talking politically. Professor Nalapat, look at it politically.
Yes.
Here is an individual, Dr. Manmohan Singh, who was cast aside by the Congress in the run-up to the last election. Not one rally, except for one rally,
No, that
was
was on
nowhere
health
in the
grounds.
campaign.
He
No,
did
one
not.
second.
I'm sorry.
Sir,
I
please.
also know
No one
certain
heard about
things.
health
I'm
grounds. No,
sorry.
one second.
No,
No, explain
no.
to us what
You
health
are-
grounds.
No, he
Come
did
on.
not. He was
What
not in a
health grounds?
position to take a grueling campaign. We all know
Not
about
an
that.
advertisement
Please
on
don't-
his behalf?
Please don't say that.
No, not an
In
advertisement
every
on his
advertisement,
behalf.
his photograph was there.
His
in every
farewell was
campaign,
not
I'm sorry
attended
you're
by
wrong.
Rahul
I'm
Gandhi.
sorry
Rahul
you're
Gandhi
wrong.
skipped his farewell.
No, you're
Farewell
That's
dinner.
a different aspect.
No,
Now, don't
what
keep
is a
changing
different
the
aspect?
goalposts.
No,
Don't
what
keep
is a
changing the
different aspect?
goalposts.
Where was the
Please
grace
don't
there?
keep changing
A
the
man
goalposts.
who has
No.
served this country for
That's
10
incorrect,
years,
Rahul.
who has
You're being
carried
very unfair.
who has carried the
You're being
torch
very-
for the
it's for
Congress.
the same
Rahul
Dr.
Gandhi could
Manmohan
not
Singh.
come to his
It's for the
farewell
same
address.
Dr. Manmohan Singh that Mrs. Gandhi walked to his house just 2 months ago.
Rahul,
What are you talking about?
Rahul, I can
Where was he sidelined?
No, that was
This is
because
a
they
media
were scared.
speculation that he was
That was
sidelined.
because they were scared
I'm
that he
sorry,
might come out and
love
spill
to
the
believe
beans.
that somebody is being sidelined. Please see
No,
who's being sidelined in this government.
No,
Their
one
own
second,
cabinet is being
Sonia
sidelined.
Gandhi walks to the former Prime Minister's house on a day when the courts summon him to
So
show
there is
support.
solidarity.
To show support. No,
To
one second.
show
To show
solidarity.
support
If he was
out of an
cast aside,
anxiety.
why would
out
she
of
be so
anxiety
showing
that he might come
I'm
out
so
and say
sorry.
something
That's a
which might
very,
implicate
very,
the government.
very pedestrian
I don't know,
view.
sir.
That's
I don't
a
know.
very
That's what
pedestrian
people
way
are
of
saying.
looking at it.
That's what the
No,
that's what the BJP
which
is
what
saying.
people?
Shahzai Alvi.
I'm sorry if the
Shahzai
BJP
Alvi,
thinks.
they remember Manmohan
I'm sorry,
Singh.
I want to come back to
They
a comment of
remember
yours,
Manmohan
Rahul.
Singh. They remember Manmohan
Let me
Singh.
please revisit your comment that the Prime Minister chose Manmohan Singh to send a message that he prefers Manmohan Singh over the Congress party. I hope the Prime Minister doesn't think in as pedestrian a manner as this.
Really?
Well, I
Okay.
seriously hope.
Let's go. Let's
Please
go
ask
across.
the
Yes.
Congress spokesperson to give others a chance. We must remember that Judge Bharat Parashar had summoned the ex-Prime Minister, and that is when Sonia Gandhi walked to
To
his
show
house.
solidarity.
But
You
the
don't show
judge had
solidarity to a
summoned-
person who's
the
been cast
judge
aside.
had
I'm sorry,
summoned,
what is this?
The judge had summoned, and everybody knows, and everybody, the whole press was calling him a puppet Prime Minister with 10 Janpath with the strings in their hand.
It's
So
not
this
the
was
whole press which-
everybody,
that's the
whole
campaign which the
country,
BJP has
the whole
successfully
country
managed
said
to-
it, felt it, and
No,
voted you out miserably
It's,
for it.
it's a
I
matter
think
of
there's a-
perception. I differ. That's your perception.
Shahzai Alvi.
I think Prime Minister Modi has shown his inherent decency. All the congressmen, they feel so upset and they enraged when former Prime Minister's Manmohan Singh's name or regime or all the scams that happen are talked about by the same Prime Minister Modi ji. But when Modi ji accords him decency, a warm welcome, and talks to him on certain important issues, and I don't need to know which all are those. Let Rahul Gandhi speculate and others, and I will not comment on that. Then congressmen, instead of being happy about it, they use it as a point to vilify Prime Minister Modi further.
Mr. Vadakkan.
So it's a bit of a duplicity. He was your Prime Minister, I mean from your party, your leader.
Mr. Vadakkan, response, sir. Duplicity, says the BJP.
Rahul, I want to make one thing very clear. I have not been given proper representation. Your OB-WAN has not arrived.
True,
I'm
sir.
still waiting on the phone, and I've been given an opportunity to speak only once. Now, let me put this on record. There is a competitive spirit among the spokesmen of the BJP. Since yesterday, they were talking that Dr. Manmohan Singh had visited had sought an appointment. Then they turned it around. They spun the story the whole day. Today they've come around talking about constructive issues. Now let me make one thing clear. If Manmohan Singh ji is being asked to come there and give some inputs to the Prime Minister of the day, what has gone wrong? Why are these spokesmen after spokesmen seeing red about it? This is a democratic practice. If it is for the first time discovered by the Prime Minister, good luck to him. He needs to run the country, and this country is not about Congress or BJP. It is about running the country. And if the Prime Minister invited the ex-Prime Minister, it was a constructive step. I stop to only plead to the spokesman of the BJP. Stop seeing red and don't politicize every event. Yes,
we are welcoming it. Shazia did, and so did I. And I would just like to take it, this is not the first time it has happened. Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee had met Narasimha Rao ji, and Narasimha Rao had told him that he wanted to have the atomic blast, but could not do it because of American pressure. That is why Atal ji immediately decided that before any pressure can be put, he should have the blast. So this has always been the practice with the BJP, because we want national governance. We are not into partisan. It's the nation first for the BJP.
Well, I'm glad Bhartiyanji was sitting there when Atalji met
It's all in the book. It's been written in so many
and
books.
Unfortunately, there was no one there.
So I understand. It's been written by no less than Jaswant Singh ji in his book.
Also, well,
hats off. But
Yes.
I understand your problem. I understand why the BJP is upset.
Also,
because
Rahul,
they have
all
been
over the
attacking
world.
they have been attacking the same Dr. Manmohan
If you
Singh
look at
for the last 48 hours. And
BJP
suddenly
is
now,
not
they're very
upset.
happy that their Prime Minister, our Prime
She wants
Minister,
to come
met.
back.
Let
She
me
wants
first
to
finish.
come back. Tom
Let me first
Vadakkan has
finish.
stirred this debate. Yes.
But then you should be, but then,
Hello.
yes, by the same
it's
logic,
okay.
Congress should be very, very happy
We
with
are very
Prime Minister
happy.
Modi and
We are
happy with
very happy.
BJP because
Why
he
do you
actually
think we are
invited
unhappy?
Dr.
I'm
Manmohan
sorry.
Singh. It works both ways. But on a larger note, yes,
The
and
continuity
Subha, I
process
second
It is
that.
important
Sir,
to
I
note
second
the
that.
continuity process
Yes.
is important in the
After
national
you're done,
interest.
sir. Yes,
Continuity is important, says Tom Vadakkan.
absolutely.
So then where's the dispute?
And if you look at democracies
dispute
all
is in the
over,
mind
if
of
you
the
look at Lib
spokesman
Dems,
of
if you
the
look at Lib
Bharatiya
Dems and
Janata Party,
Conservatives
it's
in
been
the
read
British
all over
Parliament,
the
or you
Since
look at
today
Republicans
morning,
and
they have been
Democrats
seeing
in the...
another story. If you go into your shots or your screen yesterday, you'd see
Commenting
them
on what
talking
Rahul
another
Gandhi had to
language.
say.
They said
Rahul
that-
Gandhi made
that
a
we have
snide
sought an
remark.
appointment.
Rahul, I'd like to make
Let
a
me
point
say,
here, please.
no, they're two different issues. Okay, no, I think, no, you're muddled. Can I come in, please? A small point.
Yeah, make a small point, ma'am. Make the small point.
Okay, just a small point. There are two things. One is a meeting of Dr. Manmohan Singh, the former Prime Minister, with the present Prime Minister Modi ji. That's one thing on which I'm giving my comments. The other thing that BJP seems to have seen red, as is being insinuated and alleged, is on Rahul Gandhi's very snide remark, which shows anxiety over this whole matter, saying that, oh, I'm sure Dr. Manmohan Singh must have given a lesson, economics lesson on economics to Prime Minister. That is a remark which has invited a lot of, yes. So there are two different issues. On the meeting itself, I think it was a big thing. I think all over the world, if you look at Republicans and Democrats, they come together on important issues, whether it's Liberal Democrats and Conservatives in the British Parliament, they work together. So I see a maturing, so to speak, of a democracy, where the former Prime Minister and the current Prime
Mr.
Minister
Vadakkan,
can.
response,
but
sir.
pass juvenile,
Let
snide
Mr. Vadakkan
remarks and
respond
say,
to that.
oh, my Prime Minister,
Let Mr.
my
Vadakkan
Prime Minister
respond
was
to
giving
this.
economics classes.
Shazia, it's all very well to be so lucid and very vivid on your description of this whole exercise. But let me remind you that the whole art of passing a jibe, we learned it from the Bharatiya Janata Party, the art, the craft of speaking in such stylistics. We learned it from you. Let's admit it. We did not intend to politicize this, but there are sensitive things that they both have discussed. The sensitivity forces us not to speak on this subject.
Sir, that's your word against mine.
But the point that is being made, that this is a positive development, Rahul ji has only stated the positive fact that has happened, and if it has happened, it's a good thing that has happened. Why are you so worked upon this? I'm surprised.
Why be
I'm
snide?
surprised.
Professor Nanapat wants to come in.
I want to make a point. I think Rahul Gandhi, as the effective leader of the Congress party, is making a remark which really puts it politically in a much better light. I don't think one can blame Rahul Gandhi for trying to score political points about the meeting. I simply want to say, Rahul, that actually Prime Minister Modi has done ex-Prime Minister Manmohan Singh a great favor. The entire discourse was about Mr. Baijal's book, and the book squarely named Manmohan Singh. Today the entire discourse is about the Prime Minister inviting Dr. Manmohan Singh, and the entire discourse has changed. So in my view, the Prime Minister has done a great service to Manmohan Singh, and which is why I would say, I mean, there's no doubt that Tom Vadakan or the other Congress spokesperson must be happy, because the discourse has shifted from possible wrongdoing into a courtesy meeting involving lessons in economics and foreign policy.
No, I'm leaving it at this. We've really run out of time. My apologies once again to Mr. Vadakan. Personal responsibility for not getting our OB across to you, Mr. Vadakan. I hope you weren't too inconvenienced. But thank you for joining us nonetheless and putting up with us. We're taking a short break. Lots more coming up on the News Hub in precisely 3 minutes. Stay with us.